Tim Ryan and Nick Bonacani watching Hank Stram shaking his head along the sideline. He said the end of phase one. Boykin, the rookie running back, forced out Alvin Maxson, the veteran, who was cut last week, and Boykin, the rookie from Northwestern, making the ball club as a reserve running back. So the Saints have got to get something going here. Muncie shift to a wingback position. Manning throwing first down, swings to Galbraith. Good block from Zanders. Galbraith picks up about 7 yards out near the 38-yard line of New Orleans. Johnny Gray and Steve Luke, 24 and 46, the safeties for the Packers, get the stop on Galbraith. Second and 4.
The problem with the offense of the Saints right now, Tim, is that they can't get the ball to their outside receivers. The Packers are getting it to Payne and Smith both. They're getting the big gainers, but the Packers have put the clamps on the outside receivers of Thaxton and Herman so far.
In motion comes Herman. They throw to Herman, and it's incomplete. Manning rushed that a little bit. And now the crowd here in New Orleans expressing their displeasure.
People have to remember that Archie Manning missed all last year. Sat out the whole thing. He was a little rusty. Then he came in, had a pretty good first 4 games in the preseason. Then he missed the last 2 preseason games with a shoulder injury, not to his throwing arm like you said, but to his other arm. So he's a little rusty, but when you're behind 21-0, you better get back into it in a hurry.
Well, they've now got to throw the ball, and the Packers know that, and that makes it an uphill climb for New Orleans. 3rd and 4. Complete to Galbraith. He has the first down at the 45-yard line. Fred Carr, number 53, put the bump on him. And so the Saints have a first down. An 8-yard gain. And they're close to the 45.
What they like to do on that play was Galbraith came up and blocked a little bit on the defensive end, so the linebackers dropped off and lost vision of Galbraith. Then he snuck through the line, and Manning just dunked it to him.
Touchdowns by Barty Smith, Willard Harrell, and Ken Payne have the Packers in front 21-0. Giles goes in motion right. Swing pass complete to Thaxton. Thaxton drops the ball. It bounces right up to Carter, and play is called. What are they ruling that?
Ruling it a completion.
A complete pass and a dead ball. Well, a tough break for the Pack there. Looked to me like that ball was still alive, but
it's a funny scene here because when Manning throws the ball out here to Thaxton, he'll catch the football here, and Carter's standing right there. Watch Carter come over. Carr puts a hit on him. The ball bounces up. Watch this. Boop, boop. Hey, what am I doing with this? The official called it dead. 2nd and 4.
Even on replay, it looked like he was still alive, but the Saints get a break, and they are 2nd and 4 with Muncie trying the right guard side behind Zanders and center John Hill. Forward progress marked at about the 48-yard line. So he got just a yard. It'll be 3rd and close to 3. Saints have got to keep it going here with time winding down in the first half. We have 3:58 to go.
Now a 3rd and 2 or 33 situation. You can almost depend on it. He'll go to the backs.
Into the pro set. Play action. They swing it out to Childs, backing back into the backfield to set up the screen, but the Packers broke that up very effectively. And he lost about 2 on the play. Gary Weaver, the linebacker, number 52, made the tackle, and New Orleans will have to punt. So Green Bay has not so far, Nick, been bothered a whole lot by all of the formations and the looks that the Saints have been giving them.
Now, a 3rd down and 2 situation, Tim, that was a terrible call by the Saints. What they should have done really is check their backs through, get the first down, worry about the big gain later. They needed that first down.
Tom Blanchard will punt from his 35. Willard Harrell stands at the Green Bay 10. Harrell comes up near the 20 to catch it, and he's still going. Harrell over the 40-yard line as the Packers continue to move the ball against the New Orleans kick coverage teams. Jones made the tackle, number 32.
Harrell has that good quickness. He's able to elude a couple of players here and find daylight up the middle. It's been good blocking by the Packers special teams all day long, and all Harrell has to do is follow those white shirts. Good run back by Harrell.
A 31-yard punt, a 22-yard return, Nick.
If he was having any problems with the Green Bay Packer management, it doesn't show here.
Not at all. The way he's been returning kicks today certainly gives every indication he wants to be playing regularly in that offensive backfield. Green Bay, 1st and 10. At their own 40, Dickey will throw on first down. He's under heavy pressure. Dumps the ball out, nearly intercepted. And the fans would like to see grounding the ball called against Green Bay. And the only visible receiver was Ollie Smith, who had come all the way over from the right side to the left and was well downfield. Greg Westbrooks had the rush on, the linebacker number 60.
The only visible receiver was Chapman, the cornerback.
He nearly caught it, too.
I think that was a break for the Pack. Not that they need any more breaks, being ahead 21-0.
That's for sure. Slot formation right, 2nd and 10. Green Bay and white, the Saints in the dark jerseys. Complete to Brockington and immediately hit by Joe Fettersfield, number 58. And Dickey had the sack put on him just as he let go of the ball. He was hit. A loss on the play, a 5-yarder. The ball back to the 36-yard line. So the Saints rising up defensively now with 2:19 to go in the first half.
Pollard, the defensive end, really put a hit on Dickey as he released the ball to Brockington on that play. And Dickey sat down on the turf and wondering, say, what am I doing here?
Craig Cassidy is in as a 5th defensive back in the obvious passing situation. They've taken out Price from the front 4. Cassidy, number 23. Dickey wants to have a little chat with Bart Starr. And we've got 2 minutes exactly remaining. So with a 2-minute warning, the Packers have a 21-0 lead.
Sears National Automotive Sale. Sears brings back 73 prices again on our best-selling steel-belted radio with a tough roads heritage. As low as $39.88. On sale now. If your car has over 20,000 miles on it, now's the time to drive into Sears for a free shock absorber check. While Sears heavy-duty shocks are on sale for just $4.99 each. You save over 35% at Sears.
It was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me. Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
Well, there's a pretty lady smiling here this afternoon. Don't know whether she's a Green Bay fan or just enjoying the afternoon despite the score.
She is pretty.
That's for sure.
The Saints have converted 1 of 5 third downs. That's one of the problems so far today. The Packers, on the other hand, with Dickey in control, 4 of 6. The all-important third down conversions, which keeps the drives going.
And Dickey has been impressive this afternoon. He has the ball now in a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 15. 2 minutes remaining to play in the first half. The ball at the Packers 35. Harrell, number 40. Nowhere. Good coverage as the Saints just strung out all that blocking and forced Harrell into no man's land near the sideline. Fettersfield finally put the grab on him, number 58. Got maybe a yard on the play, so it will be a punting down for Dave Beverly. The Auburn punter. Rick Motti is the receiving man at the 15-yard line, number 84. Rookie from Penn State. Beverly's punted twice and has averaged 50.5 yards. This one considerably shorter. Taken at the 28 by Motti in full stride out to the 40 to the 41-yard line. A good return by Rick Motti. First man to hit him, Larry McCarron, number 54, along with Terry Randolph, number 23. A 35-yard punt for Beverly. And now let's see what the Saints can do with 1:14 remaining. They've really got to get something here, Nick, before the half comes to an end. If they can get on the scoreboard here and go in 21-7, we've got a much more interesting ball game.
Well, Archie Manning is being mildly boo-heard in the Superdome, but Bobby Scott, who had such a superb preseason 5-1, leading the Saints mostly to those wins, is on the inactive list, so he can't possibly play today. So it's going to be Archie Manning or really nobody. So the fans, if they stop booing him and maybe clap a little bit, they might give him a little bit more confidence. But the Saints really need to put one on the board before halftime. If they go in 21-0, the Packers have that momentum. It's going to make a big difference in the second half.
The injured player back on his feet is Andre Thompson, a wide receiver for Green Bay, who plays on the special teams. First-year man from East Texas State. He was drafted in 1976 and spent last season on injured reserve. Got good speed, and they will miss him on the special teams. If he cannot come back, seems to be favoring his leg as he goes to the Packers bench.
Packers are going to play some loose secondary defense. They aren't going to let anybody get behind them with 1:14 left in the half. So the free safety is going to be deep as long as the cornerbacks.
Muncie, Galbraith, the running backs, Thaxton, Childs, Herman, the receivers, Manning, intercepted. Steve Luke, number 46, stepping in front of the intended receiver, Thaxton. Perfect timing by Steve Luke. Watch it now.
Manning is looking at Thaxton all the way, and Luke is looking at Thaxton all the way, so it's a matter of the fight for the ball, and Luke comes up with it. Actually, it's Galbraith. He jumps in front of it. It's a 1st and 10 pack. If they put one on the board here, the Saints are going to have more than a long uphill battle.
Galbraith, the intended receiver. Right you are, Nick, number 34, and a perfectly timed intercept by Steve Luke. So the Packers, with 1:06 remaining, have another scoring opportunity. The ball at the 37-yard line of New Orleans. Kenny Payne is wide right. Smith wide left. Straight ahead is Torkelson, number 26. Derlin Moore and Joe Fetterspiel on the tackle. 74 and 58 for New Orleans, and a gain of about 3. Let's call it 2nd and 7.
Odom just checked into the ball game. Ollie Smith went out, so we got real fleet receivers in the outside with Odom and Payne, and they both go to the same side, which puts an awful lot of pressure on that Saint defense.
Time ticking away, as you can see. Dickey rolls left. Almost intercepted by Clarence Chapman, intended for Kenny Payne. And Chapman, twice beaten by Payne today, one of them for a touchdown, was very much on the ball that time. Chapman filling in for the injured Maurice Spencer, gone for the season with a broken neck. Chapman, a second-year man from Eastern Michigan. He had 2 interceptions in the preseason. The Saints had 14 interceptions in 6 preseason games.
The Packers now employ a 3-receiver system. They have Odom, they have Smith, and they have Payne, so they have 3 fast receivers on the playing field at the same time.
The lone running back is Brockington. He has the ball. Brockington to the 27-yard line. Ernie Jackson, number 30, and Bob Pollard, number 82, are there to put the tackle on him.
Well, they had the Saint defense really spread out, and Brockington just following his blocking of right up the middle, and looks like a first down. It is 1st and 10 for the Packers. It's a good call by Dickey, because he had the Saints so spread out up there that they were looking for pass all the way.
The Packers call a timeout with 23 seconds remaining in this first half, and they hold a commanding 21-0 lead. And it's always an interesting thing, Nick, when you analyze a team, you spend the time looking at them pretty closely, as we have this past week, as we have with both of these teams, to find out that some of the things you think are going to be weaknesses, when the bell goes, personnel turns out to play a little better than maybe anybody had a right to expect. And then I guess the next question is, can they keep it up, and particularly against stronger opposition?
I think the big guy is Lynn Dickey, because he's been 7 years in the NFL. And if you look at the statistics for 7 years, they have not been impressive. He sat behind Pastorini down in Houston, then he was traded, and last year he played fairly well until he got hurt in the 10th ball game. But you never really expect that big of a game out of a guy who really hasn't had that much NFL experience, although he's been in the league 7 years. And then the running backs are just doing an excellent job in running and blocking for each other. And Payne and Smith have been down the field making the big catches.
Some other scores: the Bears in front of Detroit 20-7, 6:09 remaining second period. Walter Payton has a touchdown in that game. In the third period, Cleveland in front of Cincinnati 13-3, and Philadelphia leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 13-3 in the third period. 29 seconds left in the third period. Coming up at halftime, Phyllis, Irv, and Brent, and a feature entitled Top of the World, and that is, of course, about the champion Oakland Raiders. Stay tuned for that. Dickey complete. Ollie Smith, look at him run. Ollie Smith to the 2-yard line, broke 2 tackles to get about 6 more yards after he caught the pass. Number 89, Clarence Chapman, made the stop finally.
Ollie Smith just went down 4 or 5 yards and crossed up over the middle. Linebackers were deep. The secondary was deep. He just caught it and put on some speed, a couple moves here. Another juke here, faked out Chris, and he gets down to the 3-yard line. As a good play by Dickey. Nice reception by Smith, good running. Dickey's been so cool and so calm in that backfield. Of course, the offensive line has given him good protection. When the defense is sitting on the line of scrimmage, you have got all that time to sit back and look at your receivers. It's got to give you not only confidence in the line, but confidence that you have the time to accomplish what you intend to.
A 24-yard gain. Dickey in the preseason was 42 for 82, a 51.2 percentage, and 6 touchdowns, as we've mentioned a couple of times, and so eager to show that he is the quality quarterback everyone thought he was 7 years ago when he came out of Kansas State. And Dickey has been a very precise passer here in this football game today against the New Orleans Saints as we approach halftime, just 12 seconds remaining.
The heralded defensive line of the New Orleans Saints has been really sitting on a line of scrimmage. They have not put any pressure on Dickey. Dickey's had all day to throw the football, and Hank Stram has to be very upset with the performance of the defensive line so far today.
It is first down, goal to go. The ball at the 2-yard line of the Saints as the Packers bring it out. Brockington and Torkelson are the running backs. Double tight ends, Askson and McGeorge. Play action. Intended for Askson, overthrown, and one of the few passes by Dickey that has been well off the mark. Chuck Christ, number 44, on the coverage. And we talked about this offensive line of the Packers, Nick Bonaconte giving them credit that certainly has been due for their performance in this first half. A second-year man in Mark Konkar, a guy they really like, but still a second-year man. Likewise, Mel Jackson at right guard. The only real veteran is Dick Himes, a 10-year man at right tackle, and Dennis Havig, who came into the lineup just last week. Been in a couple of spots, Houston and Atlanta. So a field goal try here with 8 seconds left. Chester Marcol knocks it through. And the Green Bay Packers have now taken a 24-0 lead. Marcol 5 of 7 in the preseason, knocked one from 49 yards during the preseason play, but that was just a little chip shot for Chester, and moves the clock down to 5 seconds remaining. And Packer fans looking in back in the Green Bay area have got to feel real good about their team getting off to this fine start. And of course, we've got a half to go. And if the Saints can turn it around and play the way the Packers did in the first half, well, we'll have an interesting ball game. If, on the other hand, Green Bay continues to dominate, the only joy is going to be in the hearts of Packer fans.
That's right. The Packers were so enthusiastic yesterday during the workout here in the Superdome. A lot of hand clapping, a lot of cheering, a lot of encouragement from the coaches. You knew that they were enthusiastic, but you really didn't know about the talent of the ball club. Now we're finding out that they do have talent. They are performing.
Motti and Stewart are the deep men, and Marco keeps the bouncing ball low, taken by one of the up men, Kim Jones, number 32. He gets to the 40-yard line before he's stopped there by Steve Odom, number 84, and that will close it off as a chorus of boos sends the Saints off at the end of the first half. The score, the Green Bay Packers 24, the New Orleans Saints nothing.
The Ford in Your Future is coming October 7th. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's combined city highway mileage rating is within 2 miles per gallon of a little VW Rabbit. Yet Fairmont's interior is almost 90% as roomy as the Chevrolet Impala. The new Ford Fairmont. Excellent roominess and style with mileage ratings close to a little economy car. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont. The newest, better idea from Ford.
Touch, the first computer TV.
Magnavox Touch Tune Color Television. Touch and lock in computer sharp color, computer fast. Touch, no need to fine tune ever. Computer controlled color. Touch, even by remote. Star System Touch Tune Color Television from Magnavox.
Time to trade in for Touch Tune. Trade in your old TV for any new Magnavox Touch Tune Color Television and save big.
Ever wonder what happens to the money you keep in your checking and savings accounts? Let me show you. Some of it's here in town, put to work helping people change things for the better, like buying a new car or starting a new business. Your money's working, yet all the while, it's there when you need it, in a safe, convenient place.
America's Bankers, helping you change things for the better.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m., CBS Sports Spectacular presents live the Trenton 150 from the Trenton International Speedway with Mario Andretti, Tom Sneva, and more racing for the title. That's the Trenton 150 live next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
A 24-0 score. The Green Bay Packers leading the New Orleans Saints at halftime here in the Superdome at New Orleans. Tim Ryan and Nick Bonaconti bringing you this NFL action on CBS. A surprising start by the Packers, who were 2-4 in the preseason. And Lynn Dickey has been the main man. 8 out of 14, 122 yards in that first half. And now let's go to Phyllis George at CBS Control in New York.
The training camps, how these big guys get ready.
That's right, Brent. Well, football fans, the NFL season finally started today. But for more than 1,000 players in the league, it began in the heat of early July. It's called summer camp, and the fun and games are enough to make men ache and sweat. You've all done it, I'm sure. Irv has anyway. More pounds off than some of us weigh. Like us, the players are just as happy to get the season started, and here's why.
Nice job! All right.
$100 on the line. Just a minute. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. We're way down underneath. The ball is truly there. Ready? Go!
Those of you in Chicago, well, maybe you recognize that linebacker coach for the Oakland Raiders who was holding that unique drill, Don Shinnick, who used to be one of the assistants for Abe Gibran in Chicago. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS right after this message from your local stations.
A gun elected him, a gun protected him. You'll never forget Paul Newman and the life and times of Judge Roy Bean. Tonight's movie on CBS.
Atlanta still leading Los Angeles by a score of 17-6. That game is now in the fourth quarter. It was the Rams who struck first, and behind their new quarterback, Joe Namath, his first completion as a Ram to Harold Jackson. Then it was 3rd and 8. Namath spotted Jackson, 28-yard touchdown, extra point is blocked. Falcons score, Stanback from the 1. They kick it at 7-6, Atlanta ahead. And here is Stanback, who had a sensational preseason. He was the leading runner in the NFL before the regular campaign got underway, and there is a 35-yard burst to the LA 36. Scott Hunter got Wallace Francis on the 12-yard line. Then Hunter will keep it and he goes in for the touchdown, and it is 17-6 right now. And, of course, the Rams are coming off that horrendous preseason. They were only 1-5. Irv, what do you have?
Well, Brent, the Philadelphia Eagles are leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Philadelphia in the fourth quarter by a score of 13-3. And new quarterback Ron Jaworski's having quite a day, hitting on 2 touchdown passes. Here's one to Keith Prepley, a nice gain down to the 6-yard line. The tight end there who makes a big play, which sets up this scoring play. Jaworski to Tom Sullivan, just lofts it there in the end zone. Sully scores the first touchdown for the Eagles. Coming back again, Jaworski likes to work to his big tight end. Keith Prepley finds him on the post pattern. Touchdown. Eagles are ahead 13-3 in the fourth quarter.
They didn't miss Charles Young at all on that play, did they? Washington and the New York Giants. The Giants scored the first touchdown. It was an interception. Watch Kilmer go to the right flat. George Martin, defensive lineman, picked it off. 29 yards. Touchdown. Martin has been injured. Later in the game, out 4 weeks. Ligaments, right knee. Giants now, 1st and 10 on their own 46. Goldstein wants Robinson 40 yards to the Washington 16-yard line. Skins held. Joe Danello set up for the field goal. 22 yards. Good. Giants were up 10-0. But then the Redskins were able to come back and score a touchdown. Now 10-7, and they are trying to get something going in the fourth quarter.
In Chicago, it's the Walter Payton day. The Detroit Lions drew first blood, but the Bears lead now at halftime by a score of 27-10, and Walter Payton's having quite a day. But here, the Lions get on the board early when Horace King breaks off the left tackle here.
Okay, let's take you around the league now and catch all of you Green Bay Packer and New Orleans Saints fans up to date. 17-6, Atlanta leading Los Angeles. Moving through the fourth quarter, the Falcons trying for an upset. Philadelphia leading Tampa Bay 13-3. That game also in the fourth quarter. And the New York Giants still ahead of Washington 10-7 also in the fourth quarter. Skins may have something going, however. Cleveland ahead of Cincinnati 13-3. That game is in the fourth quarter. Browns have been tough on defense. Kansas City trailing New England 21-17. The Chiefs had been ahead 14-0 in that game. And it's Miami 13, Buffalo and O.J. Simpson nothing. Detroit and Chicago. The Bears leading 27-10. Walter Payton 130 yards in the first half. And the Green Bay Packers, the game that you are watching, the Packers with a big day. Lynn Dickey 24-0 at the half. The Packers ahead of New Orleans. And right now, let's go back down to the Superdome in the second half.
Thank you, Brent. We're here at halftime. A 24-0 score, as you just heard from CBS Control. A most impressive half for the Green Bay Packers and a disappointing one for the hometown New Orleans Saints. The big day referred to by Lynn Dickey, so far 8 of 14 for 122 yards and a touchdown. Archie Manning is 9 of 15 for 65 yards, has had 1 intercepted. And the running of Eric Torkelson, 24 yards and 6 carries, has led in that department for the leading Green Bay Packers. And we stand 24-0.
We put Mobil 1 into this car and drove it 15,000 miles without an oil change. We then tested the oil and found that used Mobil 1 still protected the engine as well as new ordinary motor oil. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas, saves you oil changes.
I'm the kind of guy who likes to read about the electronic gear I buy. That's why this Radio Shack catalog really turns me on. Pictures, specifications, lots of hard facts, and prices I know are right on the deck. The Shack's new catalog is available now. And friend, they never have enough to go around, so hurry. Get my favorite catalog for CB, stereo, and electronic parts. It's free, only at Radio Shack. The Tandy Company.
With the score against you and your opponent running out the clock, some teams might give up, but not the Washington Redskins. This is Eddie Brown. Playing for the nation's capital gives the Redskins an extra incentive. You can see the Capitol Dome itself from our stadium. We're not far from the monuments to Lincoln, Jefferson, Washington, and from Arlington National Cemetery. But it's our fans who really inspire us. They bring Washington, Maryland, and Virginia closer together. Many of them are volunteers in our United Way. They work for the Boy Scouts, Mental Health Services, YW and YMCA, and many other agencies funded by the United Way. The Washington area wouldn't be the same without them. They take pride in their city, their team, and their United Way. On behalf of the United Way volunteers in the National Capital area, we'd like to say, thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Tim Ryan and Nick Bonaconti here at the Superdome, and I guess you'd have to say that the Green Bay Packers from the opening kickoff have thoroughly dominated the Saints. They took the ball right down the field to get the score by Barty Smith. And then I guess if there was one thing that really hurt the morale of the Saints, it was a 75-yard punt return by Willard Harrell just literally moments later that gave the Packers a quick 14-0 lead.
Well, the Packers are sort of reminiscent of the past, because the past was the golden years of the Packers, ball control football. Taylor and Horney controlling the football, Starr just kneeling it out there, doing a great job. And here we have the same thing with Dickey. It's ball control all the way. The offensive line has done an excellent job. And the offensive line that, again, with two young men, Conker and Jackson up there, have held the defensive line of the Saints at a stalemate. They have not been able to penetrate across the line. Payne and Ollie Smith coming up with real big catches for touchdowns. A real good football first half by the Packers.
Statistically, the Pack had 10 first downs to only 6 by the Saints, and we talk about those third down conversions. That has become almost a cliche in announce booths, but they are an important factor in a game, and the difference in that first half in ball control was that the Packers made those and kept things going. The Saints could not. They rushed for only 54 yards. That's not bad. That's not great by Green Bay. The thing was the combination. 54 yards rushing, 122 passing, including the long pass to Kenny Payne that set up the touchdown to Payne. 8 of 14, Lynn Dickey, and 9 of 15, Archie Manning. 176 total yards by Green Bay to 90 by New Orleans. Now, if you're in the locker room, Nick, of the New Orleans Saints, and you're playing, say, in Joe Fettersfield's spot, what can you do to get back into a 24-0 game? What does the coach say, and what do the players feel?
First of all, you say a prayer. And then after you get together, you try not to lose confidence in each other, because the worst thing that can happen in football is for the players start to point the finger at each other. Cornerback pointed at the middle linebacker pointed at the defensive tackle, saying that you're not covering, well, you're not getting a pass rush, and so on and so forth. So what you try to do is to begin to believe in each other once more. So they're going to have to come out and make the big plays. They're going to have to expect some breaks and trying to get some breaks from the Packers. And they're going to have to throw the football. They have not got the football out to the wide receivers.
Nick,
they're not
I don't know
completing
whether
them.
you can really relate to being down 24-0 at halftime. That didn't happen too often in your years with the Dolphins, or for that matter at Notre Dame in your college career. Do you remember a halftime anything like that?
Well, few and far between, thank God, but but it has happened. And the one thing that you do, you can't start screaming and yelling at the players, because that's the worst thing you can do. What you have to do is you just have to tell the ball players that there's 30 minutes in the second half. Anything can happen. All you need is one break to get back into the ball game, and that's what I'm sure Hank is trying to do. Hank was crowned king of Bourbon Street this week, and I think now they're ready to put him under the guillotine.
Well, there's another king in town, King Tut. That exhibition opened here, the touring exhibition from Egypt, and New Orleans the first American city, and the excitement caused by that occurrence here in this lovely city has been only matched, I guess, by the enthusiasm for the New Orleans Saints after their most impressive preseason. And in fact, the halftime show here today was kind of built around the King Tut exhibit, and it's caused a lot of excitement in New Orleans. So the Saints will have to try and create some excitement of their own as we await the start of the second half. And there is the Green Bay Packers squad gathered around Coach Bart Starr, and they certainly have to feel very good. They're not a big team, they're not a veteran team, but they have performed like both of those elements in this first half. And the Saints, coming off a losing season a year ago, but sparked by a good preseason, have got to restore confidence in themselves here as the second half begins.
On the sideline, I'm looking at Bobby Douglas, the Packers in your screen, but Bobby Douglas is warming up for the Saints. Now, I don't know if he's going to see any action or whether he's just trying to get his arm ready in case he's called upon, but Archie Manning certainly has been disappointing in the first half. He's overthrown and underthrown his receivers. His play selection has been very poor. So maybe Hank has decided behind 24-0, we have to do it. There's Bobby Douglas now. Bobby Douglas, of course, the real strong arm. He's played many years in the NFL, has not really fulfilled any promise that they had as he came out of Kansas, but he'll probably see some action in the second half.
Rick Motti and Jim Stewart are the deep men as Marco kicks it off. The Saints will start with the ball. They're to our left in black. Packers to our right in white, and this is Motti breaking out to the 40-yard line, and that's the best thing that's happened in New Orleans today. Ezra Johnson, number 90, the rookie from Morris Brown, made the tackle, and so the Saints have themselves some good field position, and Archie Manning will be leading them out here.
You know, Marty made the team purely on guts. He did not make it because he has great burning speed. Hank Stram says the man should have been cut in the first week of camp, but he just kept coming back stronger and stronger, and here he is making a ball club.
A 38-yard return for Rick Motti. First down, New Orleans. They trail 24-0. Galbraith and Muncie, the running backs. In motion is Herman. Galbraith trying the short side. Forced out of bounds at the 42-yard line after a gain of close to 3. Gary Weaver and Jim Carter, 52 and 50, made the stops.
Morrison, the tackle number 76, tried to lead that play, but Gary Weaver held him up, so Galbraith really could not shake loose for any big yards.
2nd and 7. Across that front for Green Bay. Mike Butler, Dave Roller, Dave Purifoy, and Bob Barber. The linebackers are Carter, Weaver, and Carr. Manning will throw. Complete. Thaxton, number 86. Fourth-year man from Tennessee State. Quite a story, this guy. Wide receivers coach Sam Ritigliano here in New Orleans has really kind of made a case of Jim Thaxton, a guy that had kind of kicked around throughout the league in his 4-year pro career. Has picked up as a free agent after shots with San Diego, Cleveland, Oakland. And Sam Ritigliano just gave him a lot of special attention. He has blossomed in the preseason. He is normally a tight end, can play wide receiver, has started there today, and they expect a big season from him. Swing pass, Galbraith. Good blocking. Galbraith rolling. Galbraith inside the 20. That brings the crowd alive. A fine block by center John Hill to Springham. Great running by the big back Galbraith. First down, the Saints at the 19 of Green Bay.
This looks like a swing pass to Galbraith, but it's a screen play. The line sifts out in front of him. Sanders leading it all the way. Galbraith cuts back here to the middle, puts a few moves on, accelerates a little bit, gets down to the 19-yard line. That's the play that the Saints needed to get back into the game.
They're down 24-0, remember, and a quick touchdown here could make this a most interesting second half. Pitch out, Muncie, reverse, faked, he keeps it. Forced out at the 12-yard line by Mike McCoy, number 29.
The fans are starting to wake up a little bit now, Tim.
7-yard gain for Chuck Muncie. And the crowd has expressed displeasure fairly often through the first half and booed their team as they left the field at halftime. But fans being the way they are, they're cheering now. Give them something to holler for. In motion goes Herman out of a straight tee. Manning falls and is dropped at the 15-yard line. So a lot of razzle-dazzle, but it accomplished nothing more than a 5-yard loss as Manning appeared to slip on the artificial turf.
I think he got his foot locked in with John Hill, the center. He was trying to pull away from there and got his foot locked in with him and just tripped and fell.
An interesting formation that time. All of the Saints formations under Hank Stram are interesting, but they had the wide receiver, Herman, lined up in the fullback position in a straight T. Then put him in motion out of there. They're fun to watch. Here it is again. Same look. Muncie, short of the 10-yard line. Good coverage on him by the Packers. He was trying to get that first down, and let's see where they mark forward progress. The fans a little unhappy.
Interesting call here by Manning because he hands off in a 3rd and 6 situation. Xander's out in front, but Muncie just does some hard power running, and it brings up a 4th and 1 situation. This is the key play of the game for the Saints. They must make the first down. They must get on the scoreboard in order to get back into the ball game.
Jim Carter, number 50, made the stop. Rick Motti is in at wide receiver, number 84. He sets on the right wing. Muncie. First down to the 3-yard line of Green Bay. Ken Buchanan made the tackle, number 28.
Again, this is a handoff to Muncie. They're really working that left side of the defensive line of the Packers. Muncie getting out to get some good speed, turns the corner, races down the sideline and picks up the first down. Good tackle by Buchanan here, but not until Muncie makes the 1st and 10.
First and goal for the New Orleans Saints. Muncie, same play. Touchdown, Chuck Muncie. Behind Emmanuel Sanders blocking. And the New Orleans Saints, 60 yards in 8 plays from the opening kickoff in the second half. And we've got ourselves a ball game again.
It's the same play they've been running, working out left side, hooking Weaver to the inside, Sanders out in front, Carter coming over, but Muncie lowering his shoulder, running over Buchanan, fighting his way, kicks the yard marker for a touchdown. It's now 24 to 6.
It'll be Rich Zarro attempting the point after. And it's good. And so we have 11:30 remaining here in the 3rd period. The Saints get the quick touchdown they needed to get back into this football game here at the Superdome. The Green Bay Packers 24, the New Orleans Saints 7.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta, 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. Road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The traction of front-wheel drive and excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer now.
The Hilton Rainbow Service welcome. Look for it on your next business trip. In the nation's capital, it's minutes from Pennsylvania Avenue at the Washington Hilton. In Los Angeles, you'll find Rainbow Service near the Civic Center at the Los Angeles Hilton. While in San Francisco, it's just a cable car ride from almost anywhere. Hilton Rainbow Service. You'll find it at the heart of every Hilton, in the heart of most every city.
Let the Hilton rainbow brighten your day.
Steve Oldham is the deep man as we look at Rich Zarro, who will be kicking off from the Saints 35. Odom at his own 3-yard line. This time cannot get wide. Forced out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Much better coverage that time by the New Orleans Saints on the kickoff by Zarro. Well, joining us here in the booth is a man familiar to fans of both these teams, Jim Taylor, the former great Green Bay Packer, and of course a man who started with the very first New Orleans Saints team. Good to have you here, Jim.
Thank you, Tim.
Do you have mixed emotions watching a game between these two teams?
Yes, I do, because I've got very dear and close friends on both ball clubs.
Who do you cheer for? Tell the truth.
Well, the team that plays the best. I'm one of
Right now, that's your old Green Bay Packer team. Stay with us here as we watch them start. First down. Dickey, the quarterback. Torkelson net inside the line as the Saints rise up. That is Eloise Grooms, number 78, on the stop.
Looks as though the Saints here in the second half have really got fire in their eyes, and I think they wish it was the first quarter, though, because they played, I think, very lackadaisical there, and the Packers certainly went after them and piled up some scores.
Were you surprised at the play of the Pack in the first half?
Well, they played very well. I think Dickey had an excellent first half, and then the special teams looked well.
Jim, thank you very much for coming by, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this game. We want to find out when it's over who you really cheered for.
Thank you, Tim.
Marty Smith, the ball carrier, number 33, and he got about 5 on the play. Jim Taylor, boy, that brings back memories. You know, the identification of several players, and of course Vince Lombardi with Green Bay is unmatched with any other team.
There's no question about that, because when you look at Bart Starr and you look at Boyd Dollar on one side, Max McGee on the other, Ron Kramer, great ball player.
Really, and you know, the comparison still made of your great Dolphins team against that Packers team. Dickey scrambling under pressure, intercepted. Intercepted by Tommy Myers, number 37. And New Orleans with a first down at the Packer 32-yard line. Ken Payne, the intended receiver.
Good pressure by the New Orleans defensive line. Coming up the middle, number 74, Grooms. He is really doing a number on Dickey. Rolling out. He's not under control. And therefore, it results in an interception. That's what happens when you throw on a run. That's when protection breaks down.
Derlin Moore, number 74,
Moore,
right. Nick, who really had the heat on him, forcing Dickey out from where he wanted to be. So Archie Manning lines him up at the 32 of Green Bay. The Saints have just scored here early. In the third period, they trail 24-7. Pitch out Muncy, left side. Bruising his way to the 27-yard line, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 for the Saints. Fred Carr, number 53, with the tackle.
That was good blocking by Marv Montgomery and also by Tony Galbraith. Montgomery is number 77. Galbraith just leads the play and comes in here and makes a nice block on his safety, crunching in. Muncy makes some good hard power running to pick up 5 yards. Now this is an offensive victory because it's 2nd and 5.
They mark it as a 5-yard gain. Muncy jumps up to the wing on the left side. Manning, quick pass to Childs, cannot hold it. It was low as they blew in on Manning. Coming in were Carr and Weaver, the outside linebackers, and they were in there very quickly.
When you say the blitz was on, the blitz was on. They were sending the 2 outside linebackers right up the middle, which is it worked in that particular case, but it leaves the flanks wide open, and had he gotten the ball to Childs, I think Childs still would be running.
So it is 3rd and 5. Again, one of those critical plays. They've got to keep it going here. If they can get a touchdown on this drive, the Saints will certainly have caused more than a little concern to the Packers. Green Bay had their way. Motion, and it appeared to be on the New Orleans side, Marv Montgomery, and it is illegal motion against the Saints, and we believe it is Montgomery, number 77, the left tackle. And so, again, the opportunity on 3rd and 5 in good field position and broken up.
Ball start, number 77 offense.
There, Marv anticipating the count a little too early. Goes back, leans back, pulls the defense offside, so that kills the Saints' drive. 3rd and 10. They like the tight end and the running backs coming out of the backfield. These are the guys they like to go to.
Ezra Johnson is in on that front line of Green Bay, the other rookie defensive end, along with Mike Butler, and they put him in these passing situations. Manning comes out of the pocket. Sliding in at the 15-yard line to the 13, first down. The first run of the night by Archie Manning, stopped by Willie Buchanan. And we asked Hank Stram, do you mind if he runs? He said no, so long as he runs out of bounds or slides in before he gets hit.
That was good pressure by both Roller and Clarence Williams up the middle, but it opened up the gap, so Archie saw the daylight, decided to take it, runs for the first down, so it's 1st and 10 on the 14.5-yard line.
A 17-yard gain for Archie Manning on the play. In motion back to the near side comes Thaxton. They pitch to Galbraith. Galbraith to the 5. Just short of a first down. Jim Carter and Clarence Williams, number 83, now in the game defensively, making the tackle. Williams is in for Butler, and that may have been because they were burning him on that last drive.
Montgomery makes a good block here. Galbraith just cuts it against the grain and heads up the field. This is Thunder in that Thunder and Lightning backfield, and as you notice, he can get up that field.
Butler, number 77, still on. They had simply added Clarence Williams. You saw Butler in your replay picture. 2nd and 1. Muncie has the first down. Jim Carter, the middle linebacker, with the tackle. Number 50. So the Saints driving again are inside the 5 with a 1st and goal. 24-7, the Packers lead it. They led 24-0 at the half. Muncie's 2-yard touchdown on the opening drive of the 3rd period put the Saints on the scoreboard, and they are knocking on the door again.
In this situation here, the successful play has been to the wide side, a pitch back to Muncie, so we'll see what happens.
Crowd very much alive, and the sound really echoes out the roof of the Superdome. Muncie, touchdown, Chuck Muncie, the play that's been working so well, the straight power play out the right side, and it's 24-13. Muncie's 2nd touchdown of this 3rd period.
This play's been working all day. Tony Galbraith makes the big block along with Emmanuel Sanders, and Muncie waltzes into the end zone. A little enthusiasm there, Chuck.
You bet. Hank Stram now looking a little more enthusiastic and getting his troops to feel the same way. Zarro's point after is good. So with 7:25 remaining in the 3rd period, as we see this play again, the New Orleans Saints suddenly right back in the thick of it. 24-14, Green Bay leads.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. We'll help you smile throughout the miles. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. Firing spark plugs by
Thanks,
AC.
AC. We played great as a team.
I operated the offense.
And I directed the defense.
And now we both drink light beer from Miller.
Not just because it tastes great, but also because it's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer. It's less filling.
Hey, bartender, 2 more lights here. What's it all mean, Casey?
Simple, Sam.
If you want to keep up with the Joneses,
you better drink light beer.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Steve Odom is the deep man. There's the score. Packers 24, Saints 14, and the crowd is very much aroused, and the kicker, Rich Darrow, gets a pretty good kick to about the 10-yard line. Odom has it there. Odom hit at the 30. Good solid hit by number 53, Rick Kingray, reserve linebacker. Some other scores around the league. Chicago leading Detroit 27-13. 9:16 left in the 3rd. Washington and the Giants are tied at 17 with under 2 minutes remaining in that game. The rookie Jerry Goldstein has passed to Gary Shirk to tie up that game. In the 4th period at New England, 10:23 remaining. New England 21, Kansas City 17, and Miami has shut out Buffalo at Buffalo 13-0 as the Dolphins contain the juice today.
My old teammates.
How about
Very
that
good.
one? Good win up there.
Don Shula have a nice ride back from Buffalo.
First down, Green Bay. And this Saints defense should certainly be up now as their offense has got 2 quick touchdowns for them. Marty Smith stopped by Eloise Grooms, a gain of about 2, 2nd and 8.
Tim, here's where we see whether or not Lynn Dickey can have the composure of a 7-year veteran. Mentioned before that he has not had an awful lot of NFL experience, although he's been in the league for 7 years. This is where he has to instill confidence in his team. The same thing that Manning had to do with his ball club. Let's see if he can turn him around and get some momentum back.
Chuck Muncie, offensively for the Saints, has rolled up 55 yards in 13 carries. 2nd and 8. Torkelson, number 26, stopped by Joe Fettersfield, the middle linebacker. Got about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 on the play, depending on how they mark it for him.
Joe Fettersfield here is a 6-year linebacker, finds the hole, finds Torkelson, puts the wraps on him, and it's a 3rd and 5 situation.
You find you watch the middle linebackers a little more closely when you're watching a football game?
It's like watching a catcher on a baseball team. They're going to take you where the action is.
Dick Bonaconti, who knows a little bit about playing that position. Steve Odom into the ball game. 3rd and 5. Big defensive play here for New Orleans. And under pressure, Dickey throws it out of bounds, intended for McGeorge. But it was the rush that caused Dickey to unload that ball. And the Packers will have to punt as the Saints come up defensively with a very big series. Dave Beverly will punt. Rick Monty is back, standing on the 20 to return.
Grooms and Pollard put immense pressure on Dickey that time. He had to force the ball away.
Beverly in 3 punts has averaged 45.3. A final score, the Giants defeated the Redskins 20-17. A 30-yard field goal by Joe Danello with 3 seconds left in regulation time, giving New York the win. Rick Monty at the 15. Over the 25 to the 28-yard line. Ezra Johnson and Terry Randolph made the tackle for Green Bay. We've got 5:48 remaining in this 3rd period. The Saints are battling back. It is Green Bay 24-14.
I drive a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they're built tough. Right, Daddy?
Right, and I bought a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
Yep, and I drive a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
That's right, yeah. My daddy came to Texas in a covered wagon. I had to learn about Fords on my own. I'm a smart old bird, ain't I?
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Alcoa can't wait.
If you've ever wondered how something so big got off the ground, part of the answer is light, strong aluminum. Aluminum's high strength and light weight made modern aviation possible. Aluminum is important to most forms of transportation because taking the weight off planes and trucks, and now cars, saves fuel. Aluminum in transportation can be an energy saver today.
We can't wait. We can't wait.